So I'm Raffy Urgino. Was hired into Redeemer November of 2015. I am married to Josette. And we have two boys, Joey and Pax. I am the Director of Faith Formation and Evangelization, which means I work with the little kids, and I do Alpha and retreats for adults. So I grew up in the Philippines. I'm one of 9 kids. I think I was like 10 when my dad had a big conversion, like renewal of his faith. And so like I remember things changing in our family. I remember the transition from not praying as a family to praying as a family. So I believed, but I couldn't figure out why it wasn't affecting me. And so I remember relating to Judas, like one of the 12, but not really, not really part of it. So my parents tried to draw me in, asking me to go to youth group, which was worse because we just kind of rebelled, like all the kids who felt like we didn't really have the faith that our parents had. We would kind of make fun of our leaders, the ones who were leading the meetings behind their back. So nothing really happened then, but I think they kept trying. And so in my junior year of college, I asked to be transferred to this group of college kids, and they were all into their faith. And so I remember sitting in this group, and the leader of the group, Terry, asked me to sign up for a month-long immersion program at their house, this house of missionaries, this house of people who had given their lives to their faith, some of them had come from other countries, that they were living in this one house doing ministry in college campuses. So I, for some reason, said yes. And I remember after saying yes, trying to get out of it, for months trying to get out of it, giving all sorts of reasons why I couldn't. I remember like cussing at myself, like, Raffy, why did you say yes to this? All the things I could have done over the summer, and I signed up for this thing. But I remember that Saturday, we had a little worship gathering. There were about 15 of them who actually lived there, and about 5 of us who were students. And so we were surrounded by all these men who loved God. And we started to sing. And I remember looking around, and this thing pulled in my heart. And now that I think about it, it was a prayer. It might have been one of the first prayers, actual prayers that I had prayed, like real prayers. Because I remember looking around and saying, God, I want what they have. And now I know that's how that God spoke back. But the moment I said, God, I want this, there was this thought that came right after my question, like, God, I want that prayer. God, I want what they have. And the thought was, you could have always had it. You just never asked for it. And so I remember saying, well, I want it. I want it. And the moment I said that, I could sense this presence, and like almost like something washing over me, and I remember going, oh God, you're real. Like, oh God, you're real. And I remember starting to, I don't know, maybe it was the joy of discovering that, oh, it's real, because I started to weep.
Oh, Dad, where is your sting? Oh,
But I remember thinking, since you're real, I'm just gonna, give my life to you, kind of thing. So that was my junior year when I found my faith. So the moment I graduated, I was hired in youth ministry in this movement, and we started to set up college ministries in different universities. And Josette was a freshman in one of those colleges, and then she eventually worked for the group. So we were in ministry together, and we have been since then. She went into nursing, but she would help me with all the retreats. She would be a small group leader for the kids that we were working with, and until now. And I am most myself doing ministry with her. Last year we were able to serve together in the middle school retreat, just my boys and Josette, myself, and so it's wonderful. I think I was so scared that God would change me if I met God, that I would become this, boring, prude-ish kind of, corny And maybe I am now. I don't know. But he made you the way you are. So not to be afraid to run to God. And so just, he's real. So seek him. And when you seek him, you'll find him and you won't regret it. Because every quirk that you have, he made that. So he doesn't change that. He just makes it perfect the way it was supposed to be. So run and everything falls into place. That's what happened to me. Everything falls into place. Who your life partner will be, your kids, your mentors. He is the author of our salvation. So he plans it out, like our growth, who forms us. So don't be afraid to run to God. Don't be afraid to seek his will, because it's wonderful.
Christ is risen from the dead. We are one with him again.